Hello, and welcome to the LIS Recap. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's begin. The film begins with Jets landing on an aircraft carrier, followed by Maverick in the Mojave Desert in California, where he is fixing his plane. He has become a test pilot, but he is still dealing with the tragic events of Top Gun, when he lost his best friend, Lieutenant Nick Bradshaw, aka Goose. He takes out his jacket, hops on his bike, and heads to a restricted area to test the latest aircraft, which has the potential to reach Mach 9. He then enters this experimental jet and is about to take off. The Rear Admiral arrives there and sees Maverick taking off. He then enters the control room and tells Maverick to return. But Maverick has already pushed the limits. He has reached beyond Mach 9 and still keeps going. Just as he reaches Mach 9.7, the surface temperature starts to rise to a critical level, but Maverick has come so close to Mach 10. So he keeps pushing and manages to reach Mach 10. However, Maverick is still not satisfied, and he pushes the throttle. The jet starts to reach its maximum yet critical speed. One of the engines stops working and the screen goes blank in the control room. We then see a jet on fire coming down. Maverick is still alive. He manages to eject on time. The Navy brings him to the Rear Admiral, where he criticizes him for his ignorance. He tells him that by now he should be a 2-star admiral, but yet he is still a captain. He tells Maverick that from now on he won't be testing experimental planes because he has been called back to Top Gun. Maverick is happy to come back to Top Gun. He sees an old photo of him and Tom Kasky, aka Iceman. Ice has become Admiral of the Pacific Fleet. Maverick then meets with Admiral Bo, aka Cyclone, and Admiral Solomon, aka Warlock. They show him the target, which is an unsanctioned uranium enrichment plant built in violation of a multilateral NATO treaty. This could be a direct threat to the Allies in the region, and the Pentagon wants it to be taken out before it becomes fully operational. This plant sits in an underground bunker at the end of a GPS-jammed valley and is defended by surface-to-air missiles. There are also a limited number of 5th-generation fighters and a few old F-14s. Maverick tells them since the valley is a GPS jam they can't use F-35s. They need to use F-18s. But still, when they come off the steep climb they will be exposed to surface-to-air missiles, and they have to dogfight if any of the 5th-generation fighters gets down. Maverick tells them that he hasn't flown an F-18 in a long time, but they don't want him to. They want him to teach it to 12 Top Gun graduates, and they want him to choose 6 of them for this mission. Maverick's best friend, Goose's son, Bradley, aka Rooster, is also on the team. Maverick refuses to teach them, but Cyclone tells him that he is here at the request of Ice because he thinks Maverick still has something left to offer to the Navy. This will be his last post if he doesn't fly for the Top Gun, and he won't ever fly again. Later, Maverick receives a text from Ice. He tells him these kids are not ready for this mission, but Ice tells him to teach them. Maverick then meets his former love interest, Penny. She owns a bar and she is still mad at him because the last time they were together he promised to take her on a ride in F-18 and then he disappeared. But she is happy that he is back in Top Gun. While they are talking, Maverick puts his cell phone on the bar, which is against the rules, and now he has to buy a round for everyone. The 6 graduates come there, and then Rooster also arrives. He hates Maverick because of the incident that killed his father. Maverick and Maverick are having an argument about who will be the mission leader. He gives his credit card to Penny, but it has been declined, and Maverick doesn't have enough money to pay. He gets up and sees Rooster playing the piano. He gets a flashback of him and Goose. The next day, all the 12 graduates meet Maverick. However, Maverick throws F-18 natops in garbage after being introduced. He tells them that their enemy also knows about this, so they have to push themselves and think outside of the box. The training begins. Maverick puts them in teams of 2 F-18s. He tells them he is going to teach them how to dogfight, so there will be no missiles, only guns, and they won't be going above 5,000 feet one by one. Every time Maverick shoots them, they have to do push-ups. Now it's Maverick and Rooster. During their training, they do some high G maneuvers and lose altitude quickly. Rooster pulls up, which gives Maverick an opportunity to shoot him, but they're so low. Maverick does a cobra and gets behind him and is able to shoot him. When the Rooster is doing push-ups, Maverick tells Phoenix that Maverick is, which risks both the pilots and their aircraft. Maverick tells him this mission demands something that they have never encountered before. He just wants them to get back alive. Cyclone tells him that from now on, every morning he will brief him on his instruction plans. In the meantime, the Hangman discovers an old photo of Maverick together with Goose and Ice. Now he knows why Rooster is angry at Maverick. Later, Maverick instructs them about the mission. He explains that surface-to-air missiles can hit objects above the canyon, so they have to fly as low as 100 feet. And their airspeed will be 660 knots. If they exceed this altitude, they will die. And to complete this mission, they have only 2.5 minutes. If they delay, then they will have to face 5th-generation fighters that are weighed at an airbase nearby. An F-18 in a head-to-head fight with these jets doesn't have a chance. They start training, one by one, which gives enemy jets time to catch him. The Hangman criticized Rooster and taunted him about his father's death. Later, Maverick receives a text from Ice. He wants to see him. And Maverick goes to his house to meet him. He tells Ice that Rooster is not ready, so he should send him instead. Ice tells him it's time to let go and let the young blood do the work just as they were once. The next day, Warlock tells them the plant will be operational sooner than expected, so the mission has been moved up 1 week. Maverick tells them that even though none of them have flown the canyon successfully, now they have to focus on Phase 2 of the mission. They needed 2 consecutive miracles to complete Phase 2 of the mission. 2 pairs of F-18s will fly together, and they need precise coordination for both the success of this mission and their survival. At final approach, 1 pair of F-18s will steep dive, which allows them to maintain the lowest possible altitude and the only possible attack angle. Then they will breach the reactor by dropping a laser-guided bomb on an exposed ventilation hatch. That's miracle number 1. And then the second pair of F-18s will deliver the kill shot and destroy the plant. That's miracle number 2. After this, they have to make a steep climb and dodge surface-to-air missiles. If one of them misses the target, the mission is a failure. Later, when they were training for Phase 2, a bird hits Phoenix's jet, which results in an engine failure. They manage to eject from the jet. Maverick talks with Rooster. He tells him that 4 years ago he rejected his application because he was not ready. Now he needs to trust his instincts. After saying his goodbyes to Ice, Maverick is called by Cyclone, who grounds him and takes control of the mission at night. Maverick meets with Penny, who encourages him not to give up. The next day, Cyclone informs everyone that Maverick is no longer their instructor and that they will be attacking from a higher altitude, just as he is instructing them. Suddenly they see Maverick's jet. He sets the time target at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Everyone is watching him make high G turns. He calls him and tells him that after the death of Ice, he can court-martial him because he stole the jet. But seeing that this mission is in fact achievable, he makes Maverick the team leader. For the team, he chooses Payback Fanboy, Phoenix Bob, and Rooster as his wingmen. They prepare for the mission within seconds. 4 F-18s take off and begin their journey. Missiles are also launched to destroy enemy airstrips. Maverick tells everyone to form an attack formation and the countdown begins. They fly at around 100 feet to keep themselves as low as possible. But time is running out for them. Just as Tomahawks are about to hit the airstrip, they pick up 2 enemy jets. Once the Tomahawks hit the airstrip, Maverick tells them to increase their speed. Once the Tomahawks hit the airstrip, these jets will come for them. Rooster and Payback are falling behind because of the fear of Rooster on the other side. The Tomahawks have hit the airstrip, and the enemy's jets have switched their course and are coming after them. Maverick tells Rooster to stop thinking and just do it. He pushes the throttle and joins them. Maverick goes for a steep dive and Bob targets laser-guided missile. They manage to hit the exposed ventilation hatch Rooster, and Payback follows them and also goes for a steep dive, but their laser malfunctions. The Rooster goes for the blind drop, and he manages to hit the target. The plant is destroyed and everyone at the control room celebrates while coming down the mountain. They have exposed themselves to surface-to-air missiles. They drop flares to get away from them, but they are surrounded by these missiles. Rooster is being pursued by 2 missiles, and he is out of flares. Seeing this, Maverick, he gets behind him and drops his flares. But 1 missile hits him. Maverick's jet crashes, and the Hangman asks permission to take off. But Cyclone denies it and tells the remaining team to get back. Maverick is still alive and sees an enemy chopper approaching him. It starts shooting at him when Maverick is on its target. The chopper gets hit by a surface-to-air missile. Maverick runs towards him and is able to find him. He is angry at him because he has to be on the call. The F-14 Tomcats. They make a plan to steal one of the F-14 Tomcats. They manage to get into the hangar and get into the F-14. The airstrip is destroyed, so Maverick opens the wings and pushes the throttle. He manages to get it airborne by only losing the front landing gear. Once airborne at the control room, they receive a Rooster signal and 2 Su-57 approaches them. At first, they try to trick them, but things quickly turn bad for them. Now Maverick has to dogfight them. The Rooster tells him to stop thinking and just do it. Maverick presses the button and with his gun he damages one of the Su-57 seconds. The other Su-57 locks them up and shoots a missile at them. But Maverick brings his jet towards a falling Su-57 and the missile hits it. The Su-57 shoots another missile at them. This time they use flares and save themselves. The Maverick manages to get behind him and shoot a missile at him. But the Su-57, being highly maneuverable, dodges it without any problem. Now the Su-57 is chasing them to get him off his tail. Maverick goes into a canyon. The Su-57 follows him, but he is not able to lock them. So he starts firing at them. Maverick opens the wings once again, gets behind him, and shoots a last missile at him. The Su-57 uses flares and dodges. Rooster is able to turn on the radio, and they notice another Su-57 in front of them, which fires a missile at them. Maverick uses flares to avoid a missile, but they are out of flares, missiles, and bullets when the Su-57 appears behind them and begins firing. Rooster goes up and tells Maverick to eject, but the ejection seat is not working. The enemy is right behind them, and just as the Su-57 gets a lock on them, it gets hit by a missile. Hangman has come to their rescue, and now everyone is preparing for Maverick's landing. Maverick also loses an engine while approaching for landing, but he manages to land without landing gear. And without a working engine, everyone on the deck rushes towards them and greets them. The Rooster and Hangman shake hands. Maverick and Rooster also hug, and he thanks Rooster for saving his life. Later, when Maverick and Rooster are fixing the plane, Penny arrives there, and Maverick finally takes her for the flight that he had promised. The film concludes here.